This is Greg Troutwine with Maritime Reporter TV, and we're here today with Sam McKee, the Vice President and General Manager of Intellian, to discuss the significance of Intelsat's approval of Intellian's compact V45C antenna for use on the FlexMaritime HTS service. Sam, just to start, I know that the V45C antenna was introduced earlier this year, but can you discuss the antenna and its significance to the Intellian lineup?
Yeah, absolutely. Be happy to, Greg. We're really excited, first of all, to release this new antenna system because it brings us into a different level of the market we haven't addressed before. It's part of our compact series, which we have a slightly larger antenna as well, but the V45 is the smallest we've come out with to date. It's extremely important because it's lighter, it's smaller, but we've worked really hard to increase the performance of this antenna so that we can run it in all parts of the world instead of just really being a localized antenna from just a single small region. So while there are other smaller antennas on the market, Intellian really chose this size of 45 centimeters because it gives just the right sweet spot to be able to get exceptional RF performance. So therefore, you're able to get an adequate data stream, a very good data stream. So it can be used just not on small single applications, but by crew as well. And because Intellian, when they look at a product, they want it to be a global product, as I said before, not regional. This allows the use on HTS satellites, which is the high throughput satellites, but also we can use this on wide beam satellites as well. So when you get out into the further regions of the ocean where the HTS coverage may stop, you still get great data rates on here. So as I was saying, additionally, we have also greatly improved the user interface on the Aptus NX Lite. This is an embedded software program that allows the easy installation, commissioning, and troubleshooting of the product. So that leads to a much better end user experience.
Sam, this week we understand that Intellian will, with Intelsat, make a significant announcement regarding the V45C and the FlexMaritime HTS service. Can you discuss the announcement with insight on what it means for the maritime industry at large?
Yeah, I think there's really two different ways to look at it. First of all, working with Intelsat has been a fantastic experience for Intellian. We're announcing and releasing a new product to a new market where we really haven't had a presence in. So when you're able to work with a company like Intelsat that has been providing these HTS and wide beam services and has a known entity, and also people rely on the reliability and the ability for Intelsat to deliver as promised, it really helps us as a manufacturer get into a new market, so that's really fantastic. And as a result, our go-to-market time and our sort of sale curve over time of bringing new product in, we expect to be extremely shortened. Additionally, in terms of the industry, it's really pretty simple. There'll be more broadband connectivity for all size vessels, and not only just the vessel size, but the customer's budget as well. So a product like this is just, opening up the ability for our end customers to be able to connect to the internet, to make phone calls, and we'll also have to consider the safety aspects of having a product like this on board as well. They can use the internet to check out weather routing. They can make emergency calls. So this is really exciting for us. I think it's exciting for the industry as a whole.
Can you give us a perspective to our viewers, to our readers, on how COVID has impacted Intellian?
So COVID's been tough in certain verticals of ours. In other verticals, it's actually caused us to do very well. And I think we've seen that across the maritime industry, that some segments of the maritime industry are having banner years and other segments are toughing out a very tough time. I think in terms of what COVID has done, without having the accessibility of people just being able to get on and off ships and crews being stuck on ships for long periods of time, it's made it really important to have that digitalization, to be able to provide crew welfare because they are stuck on the ships. They can't go into port. The other thing too is that when you look at in terms of the inner workings of a vessel, right? Most of the engines and things on board are now all IP addressable. So being able to have that connection allows for our end customers to be able to have the manufacturers of those products get into the vessel, be able to look at what the issues may be. If repairs are needed, the parts can be ready. When it gets into port, they can have a technician who may have even been able to do the 10-day quarantine time because of the advanced warning, get on quickly, get off quickly, and basically just make it a much smoother process because obviously COVID's compounded pretty much everything we do in many, many difficult ways.
COVID aside, when you look at market drivers for Intellian in the coming 12 to 24 months, what do you see?
So for us in the Americas region in particular, we need the return to cruise. That is a very, very big aspect of our business. And it looks like that's coming. We also see with the increase of oil prices and more stability within the oil market that energy is starting to pick up. Energy over the past few years has been good in some of the offshore deepwater drilling in other parts of the world. But now as more of this deepwater drilling is going to go on, more support vessels are needed. And when that happens, it really opens up the energy market.